Dear learners, you may recall that while propagating philosophy of school-based assessment, a lot of emphasis is given on assessment for learning and assessment as learning along with assessment of learning. You may also recall that teachers are constantly motivated to use several assessment techniques such as self-assessment, peer assessment, rubrics and portfolios. You may agree to the point that the assessment we conduct need to be objective, reliable, fair and practical in every aspect. The assessment criteria we design need to be co-constructed along with the students so that they can participate effectively in the assessment process embedded in the teaching learning process. Thus, in order to acquaint teachers in the implementing the assessment strategies such as self-assessment, peer assessment, we may like to draw your attention to the nuances of what, why and how of rubrics for attainment of learning outcomes. You may also recall that as a teacher, you undertake several pedagogical processes ranging from conducting experiments, discussions, role plays, debates to field trips and portfolios. Have you ever realized that when it comes to assessment of these activities, then it is a really very big challenge and requires appropriate assessment strategies to assess through these pedagogical processes. When it comes to the concept of rubrics, we can say that it's a systematic scoring guidelines developed in the form of a matrix, or we can say grid, to evaluate students' performances by using detailed description of performance level. This is used to get consistent score of all students. You may look at the image on your screen and notice how rubrics helps in providing objective and fair assessment along with providing information to students regarding what is expected from them and also to provide them feedback for further improvements in learning. Moreover, it also helps in enhancing critical thinking, refining teaching learning strategies and facilitating communication. When it comes to development of rubrics, then one can say that the skill of development can be acquired by adopting 7 sequential steps such as clearly defining the assignment, considering student learning outcome to be assessed, determining the key criteria by brainstorming, clearly defining key criteria, determining the level of performance adjectives should be discrete enough to show the real differences such as quality and mastery, determining scores and establishing clear and detailed descriptors for each performance level for each criteria. Rubrics are of 3 types: holistic, through which all the criteria are evaluated simultaneously. Hence, once score is obtained, it grades students' work on whole as opposed to the specific components. The second one is analytical, in this criteria is evaluated separately. Third is single point, in which focus is on proficiency rather than on ranking and offers space to feedback and does not result in score or grade. You may recall that portfolio assessment is being practiced these days. These portfolios may be assessed through holistic or analytical portfolios. For assessing through holistic portfolios, let us have a look at the image. We may notice that there are scores and descriptors. This is used to assess the task after completion. These descriptors may be decided jointly with the students. In the score, 5 is given for sufficient content coverage, well organized and presented, submitted within time frame, exhibited required skills like collection, finalization and reflection on material, attained curricular objectives and providing evidences of students' growth is visible. And on the other hand, when the score 0 is given for the task which is not yet initiated. Again, for analytical rubric, I may like to draw your attention on the image. You may clearly see how the criteria, parameters, performance of learning, scores and descriptors are presented in grid manner. Again, in this, teacher along with the students may decide about parameters and descriptors for objective marking. The third one is single point, which provides you opportunity to reflect on the performance of students based on certain pre-designed criteria and does not provide us grade or score, but focus on proficiency. I hope I am able to demystify some of the concerns related to concept and uses of rubrics in assessment. Thank you. Wish you happy grading.